Guys, here with a new video for the channel. I hope you like it, and if you like it, don't forget to leave your powerful like Supreme God level, comment, and subscribe. Now without further ado, get comfortable. Let's begin. All this story would develop after Goku and Vegeta have defeated on 2 occasions. All the warriors were very worried about the future of Trunks. However, in all of them, a doubt and hatred would happen. Knowing that all this was happening because of Goku, after a while where Goku and Vegeta had trained a little, Vegeta had increased his power in a great way, while Goku had learned the Mafuba. When they all returned to the future, they started again with their great battle. However, this time Trunks managed to successfully seal Zamasu, where Goku and Vegeta were only facing Black after 35 minutes of battle. Black would be in terrible condition and was not able to continue with the battle. "That's what you get for wanting to destroy all the mortals!" "They are, Goku. You give your life for them, but in one occasion that'll lead to your death." "Don't make me laugh. They're my friends. They would never do something like that to me." However, at that precise moment, Vegeta would charge a small sphere of energy, which was directed towards Black, but at that instant, Vegeta would turn quickly and Goku would be without guard. He would be pierced, falling badly wounded to the ground. Black would be very surprised to realize what the Prince of the Saiyans had done. Vegeta, what the hell are you supposed to be doing?" "Kakarot, this is the good for our timeline and for the good of the 12 universes. Your ability to get us into trouble is impressive, and we can't allow this." "That's what I mean, Goku. The mortals are despicable beings who will betray you when they have the slightest opportunity. Trunks will return to our timeline, while you'll be locked in the time room for this era. Sorry, Kakarot." Vegeta quickly took Black and Goku and went to the temple of Kami-sama, which was a little destroyed, but this time room was still intact. "Vegeta, don't do this! If you lock me in this place, I swear I'll continue with the zero death plan myself." "Damn insect, I'll never be able to leave this place." Vegeta at the moment was throwing him into the time room. He would destroy the entrance, and at that very moment, Vegeta would increase his power to the limit. Even his muscles would grow too much. "If I use this power in battle, I would lose irretrievably, since my muscles are so big they'd make me slow. But the power is amazing, and this is enough." Vegeta would launch a great attack to the dimension. That attack was special. That's right, Vegeta, being much smarter than Goku, was able to master his power to create a barrier around the entire realm of everything. "This'll be enough, since you'll have to destroy the same dimension of the time room in my seal. Now, Trunks, let's get back to your new home." Vegeta and Trunks would return thanks to the time machine. When they arrived, everyone would ask Goku. At that moment, Vegeta and Trunks began to explain everything that happened. At the beginning, all of Goku's friends would be a little angry. However, they knew it was the right thing to do, and everyone would accept it. However, a much bigger problem was approaching. Meanwhile, in the future of Trunks, more specifically in the time room, Goku and Black were still on the verge of death. Goku would take out one of the seeds that Piccolo had given him from his attire, recovering all his powers quickly, and at that moment, he'd observe Black. "One thing you're right about is that all mortals are trash. I gave my life for them. So now Kakarot and Black will be the ones to execute the Zero Human plan." Goku would throw a seed to Black in the same way. Black at that moment of eating it would heal all his wounds, but just like Son Goku, he had obtained an incredible Zenkai. "So now that you're with me, what's the first thing we'll do, oh Goku?" "First of all, stop calling me Goku. My real Saiyan name is Kakarot. And second of all, we'll train to be able to take out all those bastards." "Okay, Kakarot. But remember, this time not only mortals are our enemies. If we go back to your timeline, all the gods will turn against us." "I know, Black. For that very reason, we must train in this place. Vegeta left us in the perfect place to increase our power, so we must make the most of it." "I understand, Kakarot. Then that's what we'll do. But how will we defeat all the gods and angels if they get in our way?" "First, we must increase our power to the limit. When our powers no longer increases in the same way, we'll call the king of all Zeno-sama." "The king of everything, Zeno-sama? He'll wipe us out in an instant. And another matter, what do you plan to call him? We can't leave this place." At that moment, Kakarot would show him the button that Zeno-sama had given him in his timeline.
Zeno-sama being like a child will be very easy to manipulate, so we won't be a problem. When we have manipulated him, we'll have the king himself train us.
Black would be a little surprised to hear Kakarot's plan.
What will happen when we're done with our training?
That's more than obvious. We'll kill the dwarf. We'll get out of this damn place and we'll start our revenge against all those bastards.
Black at that moment would understand all of Kakarot's plan, and without wasting any time, both began to train in an incredible way, with the intention of increasing their powers in a fast and safe way. Meanwhile, in the past, Beerus and Whis had arrived to planet Earth, because the King of Everything had requested an exhibition tournament.
Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan, let's go to the exhibition tournament, since you'll be facing Universe 9.
At that moment, a tense atmosphere fell all over the planet Earth. That's right, no one present knew how to tell him what happened with Son Goku. At that moment, Whis would notice the presence of Trunks, however not the presence of Lord Goku.
Well, apparently something very serious has happened, as I can tell Mr. Goku is not in the entire Universe 7.
At that moment, Beerus would be very astonished by Whis' words. At the moment of asking for an explanation, he was furious and would raise a part of his Hawkeye energy, and at the same instant, Vegeta would step in front of everyone, explaining to Beerus everything they had done with the Saiyan Goku.
What did you do? This is something very difficult to assimilate. The same friends of Mr. Goku for whom Mr. Goku gave his life.
Mr. Beerus, Whis, please understand that Kakarot's insect only brought misfortune. Because of him, the Tournament of Power was organized.
At that moment, Beerus and Whis would remain silent, knowing that what the Saiyan Vegeta had said was true.
This is no time to argue. In that case, Vegeta, Trunks, and Majin Buu, you will be the representatives of Universe 7 in this exhibition tournament.
At that moment, everyone went to the planet of the Supreme Chaoshin to arrive quickly to the place where Daishoken was selected. However, Kai was a little surprised because he did not observe Goku. At the moment they arrived, Daishoken would begin with the explanation of the rules of the Tournament of Strength. The battles in this situation would be Majin Buu in the first battle, Trunks in the second battle, while Vegeta in the third battle. At the end of the battle, the time Toppo would not jump to the platform as he did not consider Vegeta worthy, since he did not use the Super Saiyan Blue.
Universe 7 takes the victory of this tournament. In this instant, I'll explain the rules of the Tournament of Power.
Daishoken would explain all the rules that were known. However, this time, the time would be 1 month. That's right, the Warriors had 1 month to prepare for the Tournament of Power. All the gods returned to their universes, and each of them began to train their most powerful warriors. Meanwhile, in the future, Kakarot and Black had already raised their power in an impressive way. However, at that time, Kakarot was becoming much more evil, being betrayed. His true Saiyan part had awakened, so this was much more cold and intelligent.
If the Super Saiyan God was at the base state, and the Super Saiyan Blue in a nutshell is the Super Saiyan 1, we can reach the other variants of the Super Saiyan.
I don't know if that's correct, because in the divine world, the power scales are a little different from what we know.
We don't lose anything trying, so we'll take our bodies to the limit. You don't know how much I hope to end the life of Vegeta's insect. The new Saiyan Prince will be me.
Kakarot and Black would continue with their rigorous training, which consisted of achieving that their body resists all the possible energy load. To achieve this, they had to reach a physical that hardly a Saiyan could reach. However, both continued forward by the desire for revenge that motivated them. After spending approximately 3 years in that place, Black and Kakarot were able to reach Phase 2 of their transformations.
This power is incredible. I'm sure that with this power, no one will be able to face us. They won't be able to fight us.
Don't get impatient, Black. When it'll reach the better of the Super Saiyan Phase 3, not to take risks. When we have reached that form and our power hasn't increased as it's currently doing, it'll be time to call the King of Everything.
I don't believe that any god or angel will be able to face us with the power we have now.
Kakarot would, at that moment, return to observe him with a serious look, which would leave Black trembling, which would again train and would say to himself,
Kakarot's power and mine are similar. I don't know why I'm so afraid of him.
Meanwhile, on planet Earth, Vegeta, Trunks, and all the warriors were having a great training with the god Beerus and his angel Whis. That's right, no one wanted to lose, and knowing that they did not have Son Goku, they focused on the Saiyans, which increased their power in an impressive way.
Mr. Vegeta, as I explained, now you are able to dominate your destructive power. With that power, you have a maximum defense and attack.
Thank you very much, Whis. With this power, no one will be able to face me.
But Vegeta was not the only one who had increased his battle power, since Trunks had achieved the Super Saiyan God while Gohan was able to reach the Beast Mode, when Beerus threatened to end the life of his daughter.
I can see that everyone has increased their power in a surprising way. I'm surprised. There's still 15 days left, in which we will increase a little bit more. We'll not let Universe 7 disappear. I'll even give my life.
All the other warriors continued training, and at the moment of increasing their powers, lightning, mountains, fire spheres, everything seemed a complete chaos. Returning to the room of time, Kakarot and Black would continue training in the same way. To become much more powerful, after one more year, Kakarot and Black had strengthened their body in a great way. At that moment, Black felt ready to reach the Super Saiyan Phase 3 because he didn't want to stay behind Kakarot, who had reached it 5 months ago. Black began to increase his power in a great way, making everything around him tremble. And in the same way as the Saiyans, his power destroyed everything around him. So Black had reached the Super Saiyan Phase 3 Rose. Black's power continued to increase in a surprising way. The power he was releasing was so much that even the barrier that Vegeta had created had been destroyed. The entire planet Earth began to cause disasters, as if a true god had come to that place. At that moment, Black had finished his transformation, observing him in the powerful Super Saiyan Rose Phase 3. The power was releasing was incredible. Kakarot, who had already reached the transformation 6 months ago, he was only dominating the energy wear. That's right, Kakarot was only dominating his new transformation. Oh yeah, I've had enough power to even eliminate the barrier of that damn Vegeta. Now I'm ready. Kakarot, a little annoyed because every time Black reached a new transformation he thought he could defeat any being, Kakarot would stand in front of him.
If you are so prepared, that's fine. If you manage to defeat me, I'll call Zeno-sama right now and we'll start with the new training.
Black's body warned him not to attack, however, Black would not pay attention to his instincts, throwing himself against Kakarot, which dodged his blows with extreme ease. Black, furious because Kakarot was only playing with him and only dodged and blocked his blows, furious, would begin to attack with much more speed. However, his power was not enough. Damn it, Kakarot! If you have the power to hit me, do it!
Oh, Black, if that's what you want, I'll do it.
Black at that moment would be hit by a strong blow, however, it had really been an airwave. That's right, the power of the blow of Kakarot had been so much that his fist had created a blast of air that almost knocked out Black. Kakarot at that moment began to fight against Black, but unlike Black was that Kakarot was only using one of his arms. And this made Black more and more enraged, and due to the anger, he didn't fight in an intelligent way, leaving several neglected points, which Kakarot took advantage of to do great damage. After approximately 12 hours of battle, in which Kakarot had taken them as a warm-up, Black was very hurt because he had used all his power and he had not been able to do anything.
How are you so powerful if we have the same body?
It's true! We have the same body, but one thing that Vegeta's insect was right about is that you don't have the Saiyan cells in your soul, or rather in your spirit.
That has nothing to do with it. Since all the Saiyan cells are in the body, they're not in the soul or spirit, as you say. You're wrong.
Maybe I'm wrong, but the truth is that only I'm able to get 100% out of my body, but I'll teach you to master it as if it were your own.
At that moment, Black would fall out of combat, however, this was with a smile. To achieve the Super Saiyan Rose Phase 3, Kakarot would take him to one of the beds, which had the room, and let him rest, and at that time, Kakarot would continue training. Meanwhile, on planet Earth, there were only 7 days left for the Tournament of Power to begin. However, the Universe 7 had increased its power in an amazing way. That's right, the power that they had obtained had been so much that even Beerus and Whis would be surprised, since the power of Vegeta, Gohan, Trunks, and Frieza had grown in such an amazing way that even for Trunks, the other three were able to defeat the god Beerus, and even Vegeta and Frieza fighting together were able to force Whis to use 45% of all his power. And that was a beastly, since Whis was a guardian angel.
Everyone has increased the power in a surprising way. I was shocked.
With the great team, no one will be able to face Universe 7.
At this moment, I would love for that dirty Saiyan Goku to be here to tear him to pieces with my bare hands.
I have finally overcome the power of Kakarot's insect. Now, I'm the most powerful Saiyan of all the existing universes.
In these last 7 days, you can do whatever you want. Perfect for some technique, continue training, or spend time with your family.
Let's continue training. When the power of tournament is over, I can go with them because if we lose, we'll all be eliminated.
What a great determination, Vegeta. You leave me surprised. Now, you are my best warrior. You've been able to defeat Super Son Goku. The Universe 7 is in your hands.
At that moment, everyone started their training again, which consisted in dominating their internal energy as well as their emotions, and at that moment, some rocks of all that place would rise, and lightning would fall all over that place. While the warriors were meditating for approximately 3 days, meanwhile in the realm of nothingness, Daishinkan was building the platform of the Tournament of Power. However, this was from one moment to the other would wonder,
Universe 7 in the exhibition tournament did not bring Lord Goku. How strange. As I understood, he was the most powerful warrior in that universe.
Meanwhile, in the time room, Black had already woken up and was training in the same way. After spending 3 years inside, Black and Kakarot had already mastered their transformation completely, so both were ready to start their new training. At that moment, Kakarot would press Zeno-sama's button, making him appear in the time room a little confused.
Huh? You come from another timeline. That's a felony in my multiverse.
I know, Zeno-sama, but we've been trapped here for that reason. I was hoping that you could give us an increase of our powers to go back to our time, please.
That's okay. I don't have anything else fun to do anyway, so we better start when you're ready.
We're always ready.
Well then, I hope you're ready because with my training, you'll want to die!
That moment, Kakarot was about to say something about it, however, an oppressive pressure would fall all over that place. That's right, the power of Zeno-sama seemed to crush them. Some parts of their bodies were more affected, even their heart began to pump much more blood to be able to recover all the lost blood. The power of Zeno-sama even made them both fall to the ground, returning to their base state.
What the hell is this pressure? I thought I was physically strong enough to withstand it.
I can't move a single finger. I feel like it's breaking all my bones. This can't be happening. If with a pressure of 5% of my power you're not able to move, then you're not worthy to receive my training.
Black and Kakarot were surprised to know that the pressure they felt was only 5% of the total power of Zeno-sama. Kakarot, feeling humiliated, said to himself,
If I access the Super Saiyan Blue Phase 3, I won't be able to do anything. But if I access the Super Saiyan God that possesses regeneration, I'll be able to do something about it.
Kakarot at that moment would pass to the Super Saiyan God, however he was still unable to stand up. But after a few more minutes, Kakarot was able to stand up. However, his whole body was trembling.
This is incredible. One was able to stand up and the other is simply a worm that can't do anything.
Black with those words would pass to the Super Saiyan Rose Phase 1, and that was the one that consumed less energy and the one that was better controlled. Black after approximately 3 hours was able to stand up. That's right, Black was only able to stand up for only 7 seconds, and at that moment he'd fall to the ground again.
That's enough. From tomorrow, we'll start with this hell.
Kakarot and Black rested for the day. As they began their training, Zeno-sama had created multiple replicas of Black.
I've created multiple replicas. When you're able to defeat them, we'll go on to new training. But don't be confident as I've given you part of my power.
Kakarot and Black would begin to fight with their respective replicas, realizing that even in their most powerful transformation, they were not able to do anything to those replicas. Meanwhile, on Beerus's planet, they had already finished their meditation. At the moment, Beerus would approach everyone, but especially Vegeta and Frieza.
I want to observe the maximum of your powers, so you start, Vegeta. Don't hold back.
As you command, Beerus-sama. I'll leave nothing unguarded.
Vegeta at that moment would begin to increase his power in such an amazing way that even the entire universe of 7 would begin to tremble. Vegeta's ki was overwhelming those present except Frieza. At that moment of a great wave of purple energy, Vegeta would be observed in his Ultra Ego phase.
This is my power, Beerus-sama.
Your power is even more greater than mine, but if I transform, I would still be able to defeat you. But excellent level. Now you, Frieza.
Vegeta would remain a little thoughtful since he didn't know that the God Destroyer Beerus had a transformation. At that moment, Frieza, like Vegeta, would begin to raise his power, making the whole planet tremble. Lightning and fireballs fell all around him. That's right, his power was even a little higher than Vegeta's. Even the transformation from a curtain of smoke could be seen Black Frieza.
This is all my power, Mr. Beerus, and my transformation I'm able to master 100%. Not like the last time I didn't master my golden state. I think it's excellent now, yes. You're able to do whatever you want in these 4 remaining days. I'm sure that Universe 7 will be the winner.
Beerus was very sure of being the winner, however, in all the other universes, all their warriors were also training. Especially in Universe 11, Jiren and Toppo had received a great training by the Daisy Angel.
No one will be able to defeat Universe 11. The power of Jiren and Toppo even surpasses me. I doubt that any other universe has 2 more powerful warriors.
Do not trust Mr. Vermouth, because we could get a big surprise.
Returning to Universe 7 on Earth, everyone is gathered where Bulma had created a great banquet for the Tournament of Power.
I'm sure that all of you will be victorious and return safe and sound.
You can take it for granted, woman. No one will be able to defeat the Prince of the Saiyans.
Meanwhile, in the time room, Black and Kakarot were able to defeat the replicas that Zeno-sama created, and every 2 weeks they got used to their power. After 5 more years, the power of Black and Kakarot had increased in a great way, but they had not achieved any other transformation.
Now that they have the physique as hard as diamond, the resistance of their body is something that any warrior could find difficult to achieve. It's time to teach them the Super Saiyan Phase 4.
Super Saiyan Phase 4?
Is there such a transformation?
At that moment, Zeno-sama would throw a sphere of energy to the sky, and this would create a great explosion, since Zeno-sama did not control its power. That's right, Zeno-sama had thrown a great wave of white energy to the ground that was assimilated to the moon. Nevertheless, a great explosion would be created by all that place. At the moment that everything was dissipated, Black and Kakarot would observe the moon filament. In that instant, both began to transform into 2 gigantic Uzorus. At the moment, Zeno-sama would say to himself,
"So you've achieved it. I hope you reach the transformation of Super Saiyan Phase 4 when you get all that majestic power. I'll absorb you."
That's right, the Zeno-sama of the future was much more evil than the Zeno-sama of the past, and the only thing he wanted was the power beyond a king of everything. Zeno-sama watched as everything around him trembled, and various spheres of energy destroyed the whole place.
I, as the king of everything, I give you the ability, divine control.
At that moment, a tiny ray came out of Zeno-sama's finger towards Black and Kakarot, who were able to regain consciousness, managing to control all that power.
What happened? Why does my body feel so much bigger?
So, we've transformed into Zorus.
At that moment, both began to transform into Super Saiyan Phase 4. Kakarot had access to the Super Saiyan Phase 4 Blue, while Black to his Rose state. At that moment, the whole sky of the dimension began to have rays, and at that moment, both subjects would appear with their new transformations, leaving Zeno-sama surprised.
The power they gave off is impressive. They even surpassed the power of Daishinken. They're still no match for me. I'd better finish them now that I can.
However, Zeno-sama was not the only one who planned to finish them off, since at that moment, Kakarot already wished to end Zeno-sama's life by communicating telepathically with Black.
Now that we've obtained all this power, we're ready to finish with this dwarf. So get ready, at the slightest opportunity, we'll do it.
Don't you think it's too soon? We must master all this power.
We could do that on our own, since that miserable dwarf also wants to finish us off.
What do you say? Why do you think that? He has been training us.
As far as I can tell, what he wants is to take our powers. Since his ki power is mixed with the guardian angels, there's no other explanation.
That's right, Kakarot, by leaving his kind side, had become much more intelligent and cold, not letting anything go unnoticed. At that moment, Zeno-sama would approach them.
Congratulations! You've reached Super Saiyan Phase 4. Now just master your power. That is essential for your ki, as it's not so heavy and have better agility in battles.
Black and Kakarot began to train. Zeno-sama was also looking for the opportunity to finish with one of them in one blow or leave them on the verge of death, because if being joined together, they would be a real problem. At the end of their training, both were a little exhausted, or that was what Zeno-sama believed, since both subjects were also reserving energy for an unexpected attack. At that very moment, Zeno-sama would launch an attack.
It is now, mere mortals. I'll keep your powers.
Zeno-sama would direct a powerful blow to Black, who did not have the same power as Kakarot. Since this one was a little weaker, however, he was surprised when Black had increased his power from one moment to another, pushing him away with the explosion of his ki.
So you really wanted to finish with all of us? You're a bastard. You never wanted to help us increase our power. You only wanted us to be part of you. There's no point in hiding my intentions. You're right. I just wanted you to become more powerful than take your power for myself.
Too bad that won't be possible, because now we're capable of entering your miserable life.
Don't make me laugh, you fucking mortal. They must have no energy since they just finished their training, so you're not able to do anything against me.
Why don't you check for yourself, if we can't do anything back?
Zeno-sama, furious, would throw himself against Kakarot and Black, but to his surprise, both released a power even greater than Zeno-sama knew. That's right, the power of both had been so much that it would leave even Zeno-sama surprised.
I can't be. This hasn't been happening. I've trained those damn monsters. I agreed to end my life. Those Saiyans just like me from the beginning through to the end of my life.
At that moment, Black and Kakarot threw themselves against Zeno-sama, who in spite of being a king of everything was not able to do anything. That's right, Zeno-sama seemed to be a simple insect. The power of Black Kakarot hid was even so great that it surpassed the power of a king of everything. And they were capable of facing 3 Zeno-samas at the same time. After Black and Kakarot had humiliated him in the worst way, they had left him very badly injured on the floor.
So you call yourself a king of everything? You've bitten the dust more times than I can remember. You're nothing more than a simple insect.
We're the only true ones to be called the kings of all, not a simple weakling like you, who doesn't even know how to rule the universes. Damn you! I should never have trusted such cursed subjects as you. I should have absorbed you from the beginning, the worst creation in all existence.
Well, a simple creation will finish the king of everything. How funny, don't you think? In that instant, Black and Kakarot would touch the body of Zeno-sama, starting to devour all his spiritual sea. All that power was entering the body of Kakarot and Black. That's right, their bodies seemed to fill with energy. The screams of Zeno-sama were chilling. Zeno-sama at that moment regretted having finished with the lives of all the angels, since they also felt all this agony. At the moment that Zeno-sama was without power, they stopped absorbing energy. At that moment, the power of both Saiyans had increased in an incredible way. That's right, the power of both subjects already surpassed the power of a king altogether.
This power is amazing. We must control it, and we'll finally start with what we've been wishing for a long time.
At that moment, Kakarot would charge a sphere of energy, throwing it to the weakened Zeno-sama, finishing with the life of this one and not leaving any trace.
You're right, Black. Let's master all this power, and we'll finally finish with all those bastards.
Kakarot and Black began to control all the power they had absorbed from Zeno-sama. Meanwhile, on the planet of Earth in the past, there was one day left for the Tournament of Power, in which everyone was ready. So, Universe 7 would look very confident in taking the victory. And the next day, the big moment had come. The members of Universe 7 would be Frieza, Vegeta, Piccolo, Gohan, Trunks, Master Roshi, Krillin, Tenshinhan, and androids 17 and 18. That's right, all these warriors would be the representatives of Universe 7.
Well, I hope you're ready, because in 5 minutes the High Priest will teleport us to the realm of nothingness.
I trust you. You have the necessary power, so you can do it.
At that moment, all the warriors would be teleported to the realm of nothingness, and at the moment of arriving, not so much had happened in which all the universes would begin to arrive. At the moment of arriving, the Universe 11, all the warriors gave off an amazing power, leaving surprised all the other gods and participants of the tournament. At that moment, at the top of the hole, the Great Priest would make an appearance.
Thank you all for coming. The rules that I explained in the tournament of strength are still maintained, so the best universe will win. Start!
In that moment, all the warriors were launched against everyone. That's right, the tournament of power had begun. Meanwhile, in the room of time, after that year, Black and Kakarot had been able to dominate all that heavy power.
It's time, Kakarot. We're able to powerfully be enough.
I agree with you, Black. It's time to pay those bastards a visit.
Black would raise his power a little, being able to open a dimension, through which Black and Kakarot would leave. At the moment of leaving, Black would use his time ring, creating a space rift. But unlike before, Black, to overcome the power of a king of everything, had the ability to stay in that place as long as he wished, and would not be dragged by the space-time. Black and Kakarot would arrive to planet Earth, observing everything. At the moment, Bulma noticed two subjects. She'd panic.
But if it's Goku and Black, aren't you two supposed to be trapped?
So you Bulma knew that Vegeta's insect did it to me, and you agreed. Now because of that act, I'm gonna wipe out this whole miserable planet.
Bulma would not believe what Goku would say, since she knew him since he was a child and knew that his behavior was not like that. But her impression was great when she realized that Goku was talking seriously. That's right, the Goku she knew was dead. His heart now possessed evil. Kakarot didn't care about destroying the Earth with a single attack. That's right, the planet Earth at that moment would explode, ending the lives of all mortals. Kakarot and Black searched quickly the entire universe without success.
Damn it! Where the hell are those damned ones?
At that moment, Kakarot would remember the Tournament of Power, and by teleporting to the planet of Beerus, his doubts would be completely solved.
Black, all the gods, angels, and most powerful mortals are in that place that Zeno-sama Daishaken created for the Tournament of Power.
That'll be a problem since we don't know how to get to that place.
Kakarot and Black were in deep thought. However, at that moment, they had been able to feel the power of Zeno-sama. That's right, since they both possessed a key in the same dimension of a king, that they would be able to feel the power of Zeno-sama. Kakarot and Black would use hoods that would cover their entire face, and at that moment they would teleport. However, both had enough power to disappear their key completely and prostrate themselves in a place that was even higher than the High Priest. Observing everything that had happened, at the moment that both subjects had arrived, at the moment no universe had been destroyed. However, the two subjects stared at the entire Universe 7, especially the Saiyan Vegeta, who felt a strong pressure falling on him.
What the hell is happening? I feel a pressure crushing me.
Vegeta, without giving importance, would pass to the Super Saiyan Blue to relieve a little pressure. At that moment, Black, without containing his anger, from above would give a scream.
Prince, good for nothing! You're nothing! Your power is a shame!
At that moment, all the fights had stopped when observing two guys who were at the top of the mountain.
Damn worm! What did you say?
What you heard, insect?
You're Prince good for nothing!
Vegeta, furious, would launch an attack, giving him a few good blows to Black. However, all the angels realized that although Vegeta's blows would hit, he wasn't hurting him. Vegeta at that moment would realize the power of his opponents, passing the Super Saiyan Blue maximum power, making everything tremble and leaving surprised all the other gods.
If you raise your power, I'll do the same.
At that moment, Black began to increase his power, leaving everyone surprised, even Daishaken. Black's power seemed to have no limits. Black would begin to raise his power in an incredible way, leaving even Daishaken surprised, since the power that was being released was comparable to that of an angel.
Who is that guy? He must not be an ordinary mortal, since his power exceeds by dozens of times the power of a god, being on par with an angel.
At that moment, a pink aura would cross the entire realm of nothingness. At that precise moment, Vegeta would remember Black. However, he did not believe it, knowing that they were in the future locked in the time room.
I don't know who the hell you are, but your power seems very familiar to an enemy I defeated a few years ago.
So, you defeated me, good-for-nothing prince. Do you want me to beat you back the way I beat you last time? I'm your worst nightmare.
Black at that precise moment was able to give him a powerful blow which would make the Prince of the Saiyans spit blood. Meanwhile, in the stands of the spectators, Beerus had been surprised, since he knew that the power of Vegeta was not weak at all.
Who is that guy? How was he able to bring Vegeta to his knees? Stand up, you bastard. Right now, we'll return the favor for leaving us in that damn room. We'll finish you all off.
This can't be happening. You guys are...
So you figured it out. That's right, we are Black and Goku, who you left us locked in the time room, and we've come to finish you all off.
At that moment, Jiren would approach Black. I don't know what you want, but I won't let you interrupt the tournament of which I'll be the winner.
I want to bring back my family, so go away.
Black would ignore him, but at that moment, Jiren would direct a powerful blow. However, Kakarot would stand in front of that great blow, stopping it with one hand, but the power had been so much, leaving their faces exposed.
But if it's Goku, how is this possible? Wasn't he sealed in the future? Damn it! Black and Lord Goku are back! The power that they have obtained can't be calculated. If Black was able to bring my father to his knees. Beerus! So you know that the traitor Vegeta left me locked in the time room, and you weren't able to do anything. You're a bastard. That wasn't my problem, it's a mortal's business.
Goku in that moment, furious, would give a scream, passing into the Super Saiyan Blue Phase 3. With a great blow would send Jiren to fly, and at a great speed, Goku would take Beerus by the head, dragging him all over the platform of the Tournament of Power. Beerus, without being able to do anything, only received such a brutal beating in a matter of seconds. Vegeta, without holding back, would increase his power to the maximum. That's right, Vegeta in that same moment began to increase his power to the max, and Black would observe this, would move away just a little bit.
That's right, Prince. Increase your power to the maximum, because I want to crush you when you are using everything you have.
Daishaken at that moment would about to launch himself to stop them. However, in the words of Zeno-sama, would take him out of his thoughts.
No, Daishaken. This is too much fun. Let everyone face my friend Goku and the being that looks like Goku.
But sir, this is a lousy idea. The power of both guys is incredible, and it seems they're still far from their limits. This could be a lousy idea. Didn't you hear what the king said? Don't contradict him.
Daishaken at that moment would only begin to observe everything that was happening. At that very moment, Vegeta had accessed the Ultra Ego dominated 100%.
With this power, I'm much more powerful than a god of destruction, so I can finish you quickly.
All the gods of destruction were very astonished by the power of the warrior of Universe 7.
Power of that mortal is incredible. The only one who could face him would be Jiren, but despite that, he would have a very difficult battle with that Saiyan.
Meanwhile, with the Saiyan Goku and Beerus, Jiren at that moment would enter the battle, giving a strong blow to Goku, which would make Goku release Beerus.
I don't know who the hell you are, but the blow you dealt me earlier, I swear I'll return it to you by returning every one of your bones to ashes.
I wonder if you can do it. You're a mere mortal with a little power.
Jiren at that moment was furious and would raise his power to the maximum, creating a great stream of fire all around. The Vermouth god of Universe 7 would be surprised when realizing that Jiren released 100% of all his power. However, Jiren's power was not the most surprising, since at that very moment the powerful god among the 12 had accessed his transformation, which he had never used, and his destructive energy was shooting everywhere. The most surprised would be Black, since the power of Beerus could not compare with anything to Beerus of his timeline.
Apparently, the power of that god at that time is much more powerful, but it'll not be enough to kill Kakarot.
Don't say stupid things. You hadn't had the training with an angel, so you don't know how to master his ki.
You're right. We didn't have the training with an angel. We had training with the king of everything from the future, a being much more powerful than the angels. The only one capable of facing us would be Daishaken.
That can't be possible. What you're saying are simple lies.
I don't care what you believe. Even today, you'll cease to exist.
Vegeta, without caring about what Black had told him, would throw himself against him. However, Black dodged all his blows, and that was Black who was dominating the Ultra Instinct. It was that Vegeta's power was very distant from Black's, and even Black was still in Super Saiyan Rose. He still then accessed his Phase 3. Meanwhile, Beerus and Goku would stare at each other, and at that moment, the clash of their fists began to destroy everything around them.
This is unbelievable. Mr. Goku's power has raised so high that he's even able to match Mr. Beerus 100%.
I'm much more powerful than Mr. Beerus. I'll kill that damn Saiyan once and for all.
Frieza at that moment would throw a treacherous attack, however Goku would realize it by teleporting quickly and with a strong blow would pierce Frieza, leaving him on the ground badly wounded. Even though Frieza was in his black transformation, he wasn't able to withstand such a blow.
You better go back to hell. Soon I'll send you to Vegeta's trash to keep you company. I hope you don't think of coming back to life.
Goku at that moment, without any mercy, would throw a large sphere of red energy, which would quickly disintegrate him, leaving everyone surprised, including Vegeta, who knew that Kakarot was not like that.
Why are you so surprised? This is normal. The being that gave his life to protect you died. I'm Kakarot, the Annihilator.
The essence of my friend Goku is pure evil. I don't like that. Guards, Daishaken, finish with both beings and don't let their souls go to paradise or hell. I want you to finish with all traces of their existence.
Of course, great Zeno-sama. Whatever you order.
Daishaken would continue to observe everything that was happening. That's right, even the most powerful Daishaken-sama was nervous to witness how Beerus, the most powerful god of all, was not able to do anything against Son Goku. Both Guardians launched themselves against Goku, who was not able to dodge a combo attack, causing him some damage.
Well, apparently all the beings of this era are much more powerful than the beings of the future.
Black would leave Vegeta in terrible condition, even making him return to his base state.
I'm tired of playing with you. It's time for me to end your pathetic life.
Black would begin to charge a large sphere of energy. However, in one leap, he was able to dodge Trunks, who was able to cut him with a sword.
I forgot about you. I thought you had gone to another timeline. But this is perfect. I'll be able to finish you and the Duck Prince.
Trunks, get out of here. You don't have the power to face him. He'll fish you off without even realizing it.
Of course not. I'll become very powerful. I'm able to face this wretch.
But the words of Vegeta had been true, because Black at that moment, with a great blow, would leave him out of combat and would approach Trunks.
As I know, the more the Saiyans get angry, the more their power increases. Let's see how much power you can increase with the death of your pathetic son.
Black at that moment would create a great sword of energy, which would cut the head of Trunks. All the gods and angels were very surprised by what Black had done. At that moment that the head of Trunks was about to fall to the ground, Black would make it ashes along with his body. With a great attack of energy, Vegeta, to witness the death of his son, began to increase his power again in a way so surprising that even would draw the attention of Goku.
So Black ended the life of Trunks, insect. Apparently he helped him to reach a new level.
Vegeta would continue to increase his power, activating the Ultra Ego again. But unlike before, the power that Vegeta emanated was much more destructive and powerful.
That's much more credible. The power of Vegeta by the Fury was able to defeat his Ultra Ego at level 2. The Ultra Ego is a power that depends on the anger, unlike the Ultra Instinct, which is able to calm and peace that the body possesses.
Vegeta, without saying anything about it, would launch himself against Black. Meanwhile, Goku was finishing with both Guardians since he had left Beerus and Jiren very badly wounded, so that they would not be hindrances in the battle.
Damn, the power of those bastards is something big. They're focusing on me to use a little more of my true power.
Simple mortal, you're nothing compared to us. I don't know what happened to you, but you would have stayed in the dimension you were in, and at least you wouldn't have died.
I would have stayed in that place? Well, listen then. You made me furious, and right now I'll finish with each of you.
Goku at that moment increased his power to the max, managing to observe the face of an Ozaru. That's right, Goku was transforming into Super Saiyan 4 Blue. The power that he released was so much that it made the whole kingdom shake out of nowhere.
The power that Son Goku is releasing is amazing. I don't even know if I'd be able to stop it.
The moment Goku finished his transformation, he began to exchange blows with the Guardians. But unlike before, this time it was Goku who was putting them in trouble. Goku's power had soared so much that the Guardians had no chance.
I'm no longer interested in knowing about you, Vegeta. I'll finish you. I'll face Daishaken, who will be a worthy rival.
Black at that moment would take Vegeta by the neck despite having aggressive energy. The energy that Black was using was much more aggressive, managing to disintegrate Vegeta.
I want to continue fighting. You choose. All the angels against me, or a battle with the great priest Daishaken.
Black had finished with the lives of Vegeta and Trunks in a few seconds, while Goku had been able to knock out Jiren along with Beerus, the most powerful god among the 12. Not enough with this, he was able to finish with Frieza. Goku would continue exchanging blows with both Guardians, which were putting him in some trouble. At that moment, Black would repeat again what he had said a few minutes ago.
Would no one be able to face me? Then I'll choose my opponents.
Black at that precise moment had launched himself against all 12 angels. That's right, Black had created a scythe of energy directed at all the angels.
Angels, attack position! Finish with that damn Saiyan.
The 12 guardian angels had placed themselves in battle pose to be ready to face Black. At that precise moment, all the angels launched themselves against Black, but to everyone's surprise, Black was dodging each of their blows. However, it was becoming very complicated. At that moment, a big explosion was felt in the whole kingdom out of nowhere. That's right, Goku had created a big explosion to send both Guardians to fly, since Goku was in trouble.
Wow, it seems they're worthy of fighting against 45% of my power.
Goku at that moment increased his power a little more, and at an incredible speed, he had sent them both to fly with a few blows. However, the Guardians would not be left behind.
Duel Divine Annihilator!
At that moment, one of the Guardians sent Goku flying with a great blow, while the other began to charge a great attack, being even more powerful when the second Guardian had increased the destructive power of the attack.
Apparently, they've ended the life of my friend Goku, but it was the best thing for the 12 universes. So the power that he was giving off was negative in its totality.
After the smoke dissipated, everyone was able to observe Goku, who had stopped it with one hand, leaving both Guardians surprised, including Daishinkan.
Son Goku's power is big enough to take on both Guardians. It won't be easy at all to take these guys down.
They've been good opponents, but they're not able to give me a real battle.
Goku at that moment would move at lightning speed, cutting the heads of both Guardians in a matter of seconds. Goku at that moment would appear in front of Daishinkan.
You're the one I want to fight with. I want to see for myself how incredible your power is said to be.
Goku at that moment would direct a great fist to Daishinkan, which was able to stop him. All the gods as well as the angels had rejoiced since their last hope had entered the battlefield. Daishinkan at that moment would grant him a great blow, sending him to fly to hundreds of mountains around him. At that moment that Goku recovered, he would feel a great pain in all his face, since that's where Daishinkan had granted him a great blow.
I know it'll be a difficult battle, but I know I'm capable of defeating you, mortal.
We won't know until that fight happens.
Meanwhile, with the battle of Black against the angels, Black was a little hurt, but on the part of the angels had already fallen 8 of them, leaving only 4. At that time, Black, to realize the power of Daishinkan even exceeded the power of Daishinkan at that time, Black began to take the battle much more seriously, being able to kill 2 more of them. That's right, Black had finished with a large sphere of energy, but at that moment he noticed that Vados and Whis were still standing.
We won't let you interrupt our father's battle. We know that Mr. Goku's much more powerful than you. If the 2 of you face him, it'll be a problem.
You're right. Kakarot's much more powerful than me, but that doesn't mean you won't be able to stop me. Watch this.
Black at that moment began to increase his power in an incredible way. Lightning fell all over the place. That's right, the power of an extremely powerful being had appeared again. Black in that instant had accessed the Super Saiyan Phase 4 Rose, leaving everyone surprised.
Do you think you can face me with this power? I doubt it, since they don't possess the necessary key to make even a scratch on me, and I'll leave them with proof of my power.
Black at that moment would teleport, appearing behind both angels, which were the most powerful. Regardless of this, Black began to humiliate them in an incredible way. Returning to the battle of Goku and Daishinkan, the battle seemed to be very even. However, the power of Daishinkan at every moment was becoming much bigger. While Goku was already using all his power, Daishinkan at that moment in one of his fingers would create a large sphere of energy. At that moment of throwing it, it would become a giant sphere. Goku would try to stop it, but it had become useless. Goku was involved in that great explosion. Black at the moment had been able to end the lives of both angels, and in the same way he was surprised to not feel the ki of Kakarot. Daishinkan would return to observe him in an intimidating way, and without mediating words, began to give him a beating to Black.
If Son Goku wasn't able to beat me, you won't be able to do anything to me. Kakarot, are you dead? This is the only beginning of our revenge.
Daishinken, who was massacring Black at that moment, he realized that the whole kingdom from nothing would start to shake in an incredible way. At that moment, a great light would appear in front of everyone, and in the same way, you could see a Goku, which seemed to be in its base state, but something different, with the color of his eyes, which were an intimidating gray. Goku at that moment would observe Daishinken massacring Black, and at a speed that no one was able to observe, he was able to give a great blow, sending Daishinken to fly hundreds of meters back.
Black, are you okay? Get away from here. I'll take care of that bastard.
Kakarot, is that you? How did you get that power? This is unbelievable.
Goku wouldn't say a single word. He just started to give some hits to Daishinken, which this time caused a lot of damage. After an exchange of blows where Daishinken was a little affected, Daishinken decided to increase his power a little more. Balancing the battle a little more, Beerus, who had already recovered thanks to the help of the other gods, was surprised to realize that Son Goku had been able to reach the Ultra Instinct. However, he had not mastered it 100% because at the time of attacking, Goku was still thinking about his movements. Beerus at that moment would observe how Black was recovering his energy.
I must not give time to the bastard to recover. If he does it, he'll be the end of us all. Even if I have to sacrifice myself for the 12 universes, I'll do it.
Beerus at that very moment would launch an attack against Black, starting to fight in a very even battle. Since Black at the time of fighting with Daishinken had decreased too much with his battle level, not having the overwhelming power of before. Meanwhile with Zeno-sama, this was very nervous to realize that not even Daishinken was able to end the life of Son Goku.
Hell, if I don't do something, that miserable mortal will end my life. I must do something right now. Must not allow him to become more powerful.
The battle between the two continued. However, when Black began to take a little advantage, all the 11 remaining gods had joined the battle.
We're not beings of low power that you could just ignore. We're destroyer gods. Between all of us, we'll finish you off. Thanks, brother. I owe you one.
At that moment, a great energy of destruction was approaching Black. That's right, 6 of the gods had launched that great attack with the intention of ending Black's life once and for all. However, the powerful Black was stopping the great energy in an incredible way. Black at that moment was able to throw it to the sky where it exploded. At that moment, the 12 gods were launched against Black. Although their blows were not so powerful, they were able to do considerable damage by hitting in the same place for a few times.
Damn it, these bastards will finish me off. I can't do anything.
Meanwhile, with Goku, both were much more evenly matched. However, Goku in his mind would listen to his evil side, as his Kakarot would have been manifested.
Goku, it's me, the sadistic, cold, murderous, cruel part of your whole being. I can make you activate 100% of the state you're using.
Goku, while exchanging blows, was communicating with his inner part.
How would you be able to do this? And why would I trust you? You're me, and I'm you. If you die, I'll die too. So what we do is to go back and be a being of one like we were born. Okay, if it makes my power increase, I'll do it, because I have to help Black. Understood, Son Goku. Energy Vein adaptation completed. Union finalized. Ultra Final Instinct. Ultra Perfect Instinct activated.
Goku at that moment began to fill with energy and a brightness that could be observed to Goku, with white hair leaving Daishinken surprised, which had felt the increase of power in Son Goku.
This can't be happening. Son Goku's power had skyrocketed. He even activated the perfect Ultra Instinct. That's practically impossible for a mortal.
Goku at that moment would give a great blow to Daishinken, which would leave him on the ground badly wounded, and would quickly go to where Black was, ending the lives of some gods in one move.
I have to finish with the lives of 7 god destroyers. I guess you could do something about the other 5. Don't defraud me, Black.
Goku at that moment would quickly return to great speed, and with incredible precision would be able to give a beating to Daishinken, which this time was not able to do anything against the Saiyan that had exceeded its limits.
It seems that I have no choice but to invoke the demon god Demigra. If I don't do it, this bastard will kill everyone, including me.
Zeno-sama at that moment began to recite a very old ritual which only Daishinken understood.
Don't do it, Zeno-sama. If this Saiyan doesn't kill us, the demon god will. You must bet everything.
My friend Goku's not the same as before.
At that moment, a pentagram would form all over the kingdom out of nowhere. Nothing out of the ordinary is happening. That's right, the powerful Demigra, after millions of years, was just waking up. Goku, without giving it importance, would continue fighting with Daishinken. However, with only 3 minutes of the battle, Goku was about to give one of his final blows, just as Black was about to end the life of the god of Beerus. At that moment, both were dragged to the ground by a pressure which brought everyone to their knees.
What? Why can't you move me?
What's going on? Is this pressure even higher than the pressure of the king at all?
At that moment, everyone would be surprised to observe a strange being.
Gods and Supreme Angel Daishinken, we meet again after millions of years, but this time I'm here to help you, so don't worry.
Demigra would return to observe both subjects, and at that moment, lightning began to fall all over the place as Demigra was increasing his power a little. The power that the demon god was releasing was an incredible power that would astonish everyone.
Damn it, we're dead. The demon god hates divine beings. Millions of years ago we were able to seal it, but the 6 supreme gods gave their lives to achieve it. Oh, apparently I have to eliminate a few ants. Don't worry, Daishinken, I can't attack the beings of the kingdom at all. In order for Zeno-sama to free me, we had to make a blood deal. Does the blood deal of a king of everything even exist? I was not aware that Zeno-sama has enough power to perform such a feat.
I don't care who the hell you are, but if you interfere with my revenge, I'll end your miserable life this very instant.
Simple mortal, measure your words before addressing your superiors. You don't want me to end your pathetic life in seconds.
Goku, having totally united with Kakarot, had a much colder personality, but in the same way, they made him angry much more easily. Goku at that moment would launch himself at a great speed against Demigra. However, Demigra had stopped his blow with only one hand, and with a strong kick he would send him flying all over the combat platform. Black, who was facing Beerus, would realize what had happened, leaving him out of combat quickly.
To kill you would have to be a mercy on you. First we'll make you suffer, but now we must finish with that dam. He has an incredible power.
Black at that moment, at an incredible speed that even Daishinken would be difficult to follow, he launched himself at Demigra's attack. At that moment, he'd create an energy sword. However, when Black's sword touched Demigra's aura, it was destroyed into 1,000 pieces.
Is this a child's game? Do you really want to rule all the universes? The only thing we want is to finish with all the beings of the divine world.
Even so, it would have been impossible, since the power of Zeno-sama in his form of combat is comparable to mine, and if he has trained, he must surpass me. Black would be surprised since he didn't know that the king of all possessed a combat form. In that instant, thousands of thoughts passed quickly through his mind.
What the hell? Why didn't the other Zeno-sama use his combat mode?
Demigra at that moment, without letting Black recover from the astonishment, at a great speed would begin to give him a few blows. However, from one moment to another, Goku would rush to Black's aid. Demigra, with the simple power of his eyes, had left him paralyzed.
What do you think about the power of a demon god? This is my visual ability, Eye of Evil.
Goku at that moment, in spite of being with Ultra Instinct, was not able to dodge hundreds of blows that Demigra had attacked him with. At that moment, Goku and Black would both fall to the ground, very badly wounded. Meanwhile, in another multiverse, a beautiful goddess was watching everything that happened.
The little Zen has invoked one of the demon gods, but the power he possesses does not compare to what we have sealed. The power of those two subjects can serve us. We do value the beings of great power, but I'll observe a moment more.
Goku at that moment would stand up furious since no one had humiliated him in this way, while Black had returned to his base state and was in terrible condition.
I don't care if my body's destroyed by what I'm going to do, but I'll take it to the limit. Kaioken power! Enlarged 20 times!
Goku's power would explode in a few seconds, launching himself against Demigra. But in the same way, he was surprised to see how Demigra had dodged his blow, despite having increased his speed in an incredible way. Goku at that moment would begin to give a rain of blows to Demigra, which only dodged without any effort. However, at that moment, Demigra would begin to attack in the same way, being able to give a few hits to Son Goku, cutting all his ki. That's right, his hits that Demigra was giving to Son Goku were hits with demonic power,
which was able to stop the flow of energy for approximately 25 minutes. Being enough time to finish with any warrior, Goku at that moment would fall to the ground and return to his base state. That's right, Goku had been completely defeated.
In spite of being sealed for millions of years, Demigra's power seems to have increased in an incredible way. By that time, he didn't use his true power. That's all you could do. You're still mere mortals. Die, demonic celestial iniquitator! A crimson red sphere was approaching towards both warriors, who were unable to move a single finger. Damn it! It seems that even after training with the king, we haven't been able to do anything against this guy. At that moment, the whole place would freeze, as if someone had stopped time. There is no time, but I ask you, do you want revenge? Come and join our multiverse. We'll take care of making you formidable warriors. I don't want to die without making that damned god suffer. I accept. I don't want to be left behind, so I also accept. I think this is perfect. Then at that moment of impact, we'll teleport, and so everyone will believe that they were reduced to simple atoms. At that moment, everything would return to normal, and the great energy that had impacted, creating a great explosion all over that place. 2 seconds before the attack impacted both subjects, Sirius had quickly teleported them to her realm. Wow, my power has been so great that I didn't even leave a trace of those insects. Now that you're done with them, what do you plan to do? Don't worry, priest. I won't do anything that has to do with destroying universes. I just want to be the most powerful demon in existence. Demigra, you know what? If you start wrecking the 12 universes, I'll personally take care of you. I know, Zeno-sama, it's not necessary to repeat it. Demigra at that moment, there would be a portal which, through this one, could observe a place similar to the underworld. Demigra at that moment would disappear, leaving all the others speechless. At that moment, Daishinken would approach Zeno-sama. My lord, what shall we do with all the angels and the 11 fallen gods? The Tournament of Power has been cancelled. Use the Super Dragon Spheres to bring everyone back to life. Angel, God, Warrior, what has happened is maximum effort. What do you mean by maximum alert, my lord? Son Goku and the guy named Black have been defeated, and from what I could tell, Demigra seems to be afraid of their power. And they also are made the blood deal of a king of everything. The blood deal of a king of all can be annulled. If the being with whom I made it surpasses my power, and Demigra's power is not very far from mine. Daishinken at that moment had been paralyzed, knowing that if Demigra passed his power of Zeno-sama, this time everyone would die, and there was nothing or no one was able to do to defeat him. So your idea is to bring to life all the warriors, gods, and angels, to increase their power, and to be able to help in the battle against the demon god Demigra. That's right, Daishinken. The battle against Demigra will be the most destructive battle this multiverse has ever seen. I understand, my lord. At this very moment, I'll summon the Great Dragon. Daishinken at that moment summons the Super Shenron.
Tell me what I can fulfill as a wish, whichever one you want.
Bring back to life all the beings that died since Goku and Black appeared in the Tournament of Power.
That's a complicated wish, because among them are both of Zeno-sama's guardians, who have incredible power. But I can do it.
At that moment, the dragon would raise the whole realm of nowhere, and the eyes would glow. That's right, at the instant, all the gods, angels, and guardians would come back to life.
Great Zeno-sama, we thank you for reviving us.
It seems to be all over, but why do I feel such a tense atmosphere? Daishinken at that moment started to explain everything that had happened with Son Goku until the arrival of the demon god, who was able to defeat both of them. And why does he have a worried look on his face, Daishinken-sama?
Because the demon gods are natural enemies of the divine beings. Just like us, the demon god is increasing his power in order to defeat us.
I understand what you are getting at, Father. You want all of us, our gods and warriors of each universe, to increase their power to be able to help in the battle against the demon god Demigra. Or am I wrong?
You're right, Whis. The power of the demon god Demigra, he made it clear to us that he's capable of wiping us out if he just thunders his fingers. So we must increase our powers.
Meanwhile, Vegeta and Frieza were the most furious because despite having trained for so long and taken their bodies to the limit, Son Goku had defeated them without any difficulty, even humiliating them in the worst way possible.
Damn insect, I swear I'll overcome your power and even go to hell to finish you once and for all.
I can't believe that guy with the name Black was able to defeat me, the most powerful god. But Son Goku's power is still unmatched. If the god Demigra defeated him easily, that guy must be a monster.
Meanwhile, in the realm of Multiverse 2, Goku and Black were on the verge of death. At that moment, a great sphere of energy of the golden color began to heal them quickly. After only 3 minutes, they were both 100% healed.
Now that you're completely healed, I want you to explain to me why you want to finish with all the divine beings of the multiverse of Zeno-sama.
First of all, thank you very much for saving us. Now, of course, I'll explain to you. Goku at that moment began to explain everything that had happened on planet Earth since he arrived, until the moment they faced Black and Zamasu in the future. Sirius at that moment would be very thoughtful, knowing that both subjects had been betrayed, especially Goku, who had given his life for all his loved ones.
I understand. Then I will help you become much more powerful, but I have to inform you something. If you finish with the king of everything Zeno-sama, one of you must be the new king of everything of Multiverse 4, because if a king dies and nobody takes his place, a megaversal catastrophe can occur.
I understand, but of that, then there's no problem. Both of us be new kings of everything. We'll train the gods not to be scum, but they first must be punished severely.
In that case, let's start with the training beyond a king of the whole.
At that moment, a being of a Saiyan race appeared that would appear in front of them.
I'll be the warrior you'll face for the first 6 months. When you're able to defeat me, you'll be able to access the next level.
For a Saiyan, you're too weak. You didn't even raise a little bit of ki. Goku and Black were again mortally wounded at the same moment, falling to the ground on the verge of death.
Don't look at my ki, since my power is in another dimension which you're still not able to reach.
Goku at that moment would access to Super Saiyan Blue, while Black to Super Saiyan Rose. However, at that moment, Goku would get out of control, expelling much more power. The body of Son Goku was releasing an incredible power, making everything around him tremble. So much would be his power that even the power Sirius would be interested in the Saiyan. At that moment, Shallot at an incredible speed would try to leave him out of combat, being in vain, since at that moment that his body made contact with the aura of Son Goku, he was seriously wounded. That moment, Black was incredibly surprised, and since he returned to his base state, Goku's body was releasing an incredible negative aura, and every being that touched that energy absorbed his powers. At the same moment, a gigantic Shinigami could be observed. That's right, this is the representation of the supreme power. All that power was entering Goku's body, which had accessed the Ultra Instinct. After a few moments, his hair would turn to a blood red color.
Kakarot, what the hell's wrong with you? Control yourself!
It's useless. The power that Son Goku's body's releasing exceeds anything we've ever seen so far, so it's impossible for him to come to his senses.
But Sirius's logic was totally wrong, because at that moment, a great laughter would resound throughout space.
Do you think I'm not able to control this power? I'm Kakarot, the evil version of Son Goku. But when we merge, we're able to share the body.
What do you mean by sharing the body? This can't be happening.
By keeping our consciousness separated for so many years, we were not able to merge 100%. The only thing we could do to use the same body and power is of our counterpart.
Then this is a terrible idea, because if a being as evil as you can use Son Goku's body, it will be chaos not only for Zeno-sama's multiverse, it'll be chaos for all of us.
You're wrong! Even though I'm a destroyer, I'm not capable of destroying the other beings. Something of Goku's uselessness still holds me back, but I'm capable of giving him much greater power and also absorbing all kinds of negative energy. That's why all my power's gone. That's right! With this power, I can absorb all the negative energy and make it part of me. With this form, I also take away his emotions. By this, I mean that he's not able to feel fear, empathy, or pain.
This is too much like the Ikari forbidden energy, which you need to dominate your inner self to be able to make two beings be able to share the same body. It seems to me something amazing.
But all must not be good news. Why did Goku lose control?
He's not lose control, but by using more power than his body can withstand, the body has left him totally out of combat. So I am who is not able to feel pain or fear. I can control the body and store much more power.
I understand 75% of what you're telling us.
I have understood completely everything. In a few words, if one of you is completely on the verge of death, the other one could go out to the battlefield while the other one recovers. Or am I wrong?
It seems you're a real queen of everything. Your intellectual capacity is impressive. I am amazed.
I understand that there's no limit, but I have a doubt. Does the negative power have any limit, or is it unlimited?
I can withstand 100 times my current power. That means that for a being to make me explode, he must be able to end the life of a king completely just by thinking about it.
Then in a few words, it's impossible since there's no being with all that power.
But Sirius was very wrong, since in all the multiverses, or even beyond these, there were beings that did not need titles like gods, kings, or priests, but their power was so much that they were capable of ending the life of these without even making any effort.
So, what do you think if we start with the training?
Shallot, you train the Saiyan named Black. I will personally train this Saiyan. I want to see how much he's able to withstand the negative energy.
As you order, my lady. Black, I hope you're ready since there's no one to save you.
Black at that moment would get into a battle pose. However, he was not able to dodge the hundreds of blows that Shallot was giving him. Black was only able to dodge 2 or maximum 3 blows out of 100 that he received. Meanwhile, in the special planet, Sirius, without giving any warning, would throw a powerful blow to Goku, who with a little difficulty would move at a great speed, taking a little distance.
What the hell? His energy changed to a more aggressive one. It's similar to the negative energy, but I even feel that it's capable of absorbing me.
Let's see who's more powerful, your body with 2 beings living in it, or my body which has been able to master the forbidden Ikari power.
Goku would be very surprised to know that a woman had been able to get the power that even a king desires. Flashback when Goku and Black were training in the time room with Zeno-sama. In a moment, Goku would approach.
Zeno-sama, is there a power beyond a king of everything?
Well, the answer's a bit confusing since a king of everything is born with unlimited energy, and we don't have to train to increase our power. But what's supposed to happen if the kings train? Just to that point I want to get. If we kings of all train, it's said that we're able to master a power called Ikari.
Ikari? What's that power?
Ikari is a power beyond the king of all. If they're able to defeat us, the Ikari power appears on our whole body, controlling it throughout the battle, and giving us a much greater power than we alone can access.
The Ikari power is incredible. I'd love to learn how to master it.
That's what the legends of the other kings of everything tell us, since to this day no king of everything's capable of using it. That must be a simple legend or fantasy tales, since it must not be possible for 2 personalities to exist in the same body. We don't know, but there will always be beings that'll surprise us.
And flashback.
So the words of that miserable dwarf were true after all. The Ikari power is a power that goes beyond the normal power of a king at all.
Sirius at that moment, like a true beast, would move at a great speed and would take one of Goku's legs, which he began to crash him through planets, mountains, and stars. Goku, in spite of wanting to absorb the power that Sirius emanated, was not able to do it. Goku, despite wanting to absorb that power, was not able to go so he was freeing himself from one moment to the next, and a little annoyed, they began to exchange blows, which they occurred in a less developed place like Zeno-sama's multiverse. Everything would explode. Meanwhile, with the Battle of Shallot and Black, both were exchanging blows, but Black was in Super Saiyan Phase 4 Rose Furious, as Shallot was fighting with only one of his arms. However, the power was notorious as everything around him was destroyed. Shallot at that time would release much more power, pushing Black away.
That's all for today. You lack power, speed, and stamina. How is that possible that you have all that power? You're able to beat even Demigra.
Do you know Demigra's trash?
Trash? That damn demon god was able to finish this off without even trying.
He's the weakest demon god of the 6 supreme demons that exist. That statement would leave Black shocked to learn that there were 5 demon gods, much more powerful than the one they faced. Don't let that affect you, their power's great. The demon gods have trained for millions of years to possess their current power. We've trained for thousands of years, but you have not been cultivating more than 100 years. You'll be great warriors. So in a million years, you've been able to reach that power. Well then, it's not so impressive after all, since in millions of years, we'll be much more powerful. Exactly. I've only trained for 120,000 years, and I'm able to defeat even the third demon god. The second most powerful demon gods do have an incredible power, but after training for millions of years, they're not that impressive. I understand. They're not that impressive. The next time we see them, we'll finish them with our own hands. Meanwhile, in Zeno-sama's multiverse, Daishoken was training in the realm of everything, as were all the gods, angels, and warriors of the 12 universes. Damn, the resurgence of the god Demigra is something we didn't count on. Now that we don't have the help of the 6 supreme gods, I don't know if we'll be able to do anything. Meanwhile, on the planet Abyss, everyone was training very hard, but the ones that stood out the most were Frieza, Vegeta, and the god Beerus himself. Damn it! I won't let that wretch Black humiliate me again. I want to bring him back to life to finish him off. Mr. Beerus, currently we can't do that since we are on red alert, and the powerful god Demigra hasn't given any sign of life. That means he's planning something against the divine beings. That damn demon god won't be able to face us, but the one that he leaves surprised is still Kakarot. How's he able to get all that power? How is he able to get out of that damn room? Mr. Goku and Black were able to get out of that dimension because their power was so great they were able to totally eliminate the divine seal that you placed on him. Frieza didn't say anything. He would only continue training since even after so many years of training, he was quickly crushed by the Saiyan. Returning to the battle of Sirius and Goku, they had already spent approximately 15 hours of battle, which both were very wounded, but both would continue exchanging blows without giving up. Sirius, a little more upset, would use more power. However, his body was already feeling the side effects of using it for more than 12 hours of the Ikari. That is, his bones were breaking with every exchange of blows. While Goku, at every moment of the battle, seemed to get used more after a great exchange of blows, both subjects had taken a little distance. How is it possible that you're in better shape than me, if I had been the one who has given you the most blows? Have you forgotten what I've told you? In a few words, you're facing two beings. You're right. If I fought alone, I would not be able to move, since your blows have an absurdly incredible power. What do you mean by all this? That's right. Goku, I have fully recovered, and every time you do serious damage, I'm able to heal myself thanks to the fact that Son Goku's already 100%, grants me his regeneration. That's awesome. Sirius at that moment would be out of combat for all the excess energy, and Black in the same way, but at the moment Goku would take control of his body, staying in the perfect Ultra Instinct. That's right, Goku had taken his base state. Thank you very much, Kakarot and Sirius. With this battle, I've learned a lot about my power. I hope you're ready. Our revenge is not over yet. Goku would go to a room in the Kingdom of Hole to leave Sirius, and while she was recovering, Goku would begin to increase his power because the more power he could support, the more power Kakarot would support. Goku would begin to meditate since he wished to dominate 100% of all his power. Meanwhile, with the training of Shallot together with Black, these had taken their training to a new level. Since in the castle of the Queen of All, Cyrus, there was a room which was very different from the Room of Time. Since in this place, the more the warrior has more power, the more pressure he'll exert, making the warrior, no matter how powerful he is, not be able to move freely. While the warrior has more power, the room will exert more pressure, making the warrior, no matter how powerful he is, not be able to move freely. Shallot and Black were training in that place for 34 hours, in which Black, after exchanging of blows, in which he was not able to defeat Shallot, would fall to the ground badly wounded. Damn it! We're in equal conditions, and in spite of that, you're able to defeat me. You don't have to worry about that. You have an incredible power being such a young Kaoshin. How do you know? We're beings that have trained for many more years than you, and it's easy to identify that this body does not belong to you. For that reason, you're not able to release 100% of its capacity, unlike the Saiyan Goku that I can use it to its maximum power. I understand, but it's all a matter of time, since we're all capable of getting used to someone or something. You're right, but combining your cells with the Saiyan body will be extremely complicated. but not impossible. And that's what I'm here for. Is it possible to combine it 100%? Of course it is. For that very reason, we'll train in this place to take advantage of the time and the pressure it exerts. The pressure will make your ki veins emanate much more power to relax the body a little. The more it happens, the more the ki and veins will consider your spirit and body as one. Then we shouldn't waste time. Let's keep training. Those are the words I like to hear. But in the same way, it's also indispensable to rest so that your body is affected by a big load. Meanwhile, in the multiverse of Zeno-sama, approximately 4 months had already passed. That's right, the time in each multiverse passed in a different way. At that moment, Daishinken would approach the King of Everything. My lord, it's been 4 months since we have no information from Demigra. We don't know in which universe he is or what he's doing. This is worrying. Demigra has always been known for destroying everything in his path. That it doesn't mean leaves me with hundreds of thoughts. Meanwhile, in Universe 7, all the warriors had already increased their powers in an incredible way, having too much confidence in defeating Son Goku. Whis-sama, I beg you, please take me to the hell of the other world to finish with that damn Kakarot. He doesn't want me to exist in hell. I want to eliminate him completely.
Mr. Vegeta, I don't think it's a coherent idea. We can't interfere in that other divine plane.
Whis, all of us will go. I also want Son Goku to cease to exist. Those damn mortals dared to humiliate the entire Universe 7.
This time I will finish off both monkeys. I'll pay them back for everything they did to me.
Whis, along with all the other warriors, were heading quickly to the hell of the other world. And being an angel could access quickly, at the time of arrival, Whis would start looking for Son Goku in black, failing completely. The expression of Whis at that moment would change to a very serious one. What's wrong, Whis? It looks like you've seen the same demon.
Mr. Beerus, the son of Son Goku and the guy named Black are not in this world, and I have also searched in Paradise and there's no trace of both guys.
Damn. Means that damn demon must have eliminated them with a destructive attack to destroy their souls.
Those ignorant monkeys have been spared the beating of their lives.
No, that can't be happening. The demon god Demigra didn't use destructive energy. The only option left is...
That's impossible, Whis. They couldn't have stayed alive. The power of that attack was supreme. Not even the king would have been able to survive it.
We must quickly inform the high priest and the king of all Zeno-sama.
At that moment, Whis tried to get out of hell. A strong barrier would not allow him to do it. What's wrong, Whis? We must inform the King of Everything as soon as possible.
It wasn't me, Mr. Beerus. An extremely powerful barrier won't let me pass.
At that moment, all hell would begin to tremble and a pressure would fall on everyone present, not letting even one finger move. What is an angel and a god supposed to do in this world? You don't know it's against the rules?
But you're a Saiyan who's opposed the destruction of the Vegeta planet to the very end.
Wow, this is a surprise. Frieza, he's in this place with you.
I don't know who the hell you are, but for this disrespect to a god, I'll annihilate you.
Bardock would move at an impressive speed, putting himself in front of Beerus. Are you talking to my pathetic god? Don't you know who I am? Beerus at that moment would recognize the kinship that this Saiyan had with Son Goku.
Are you Son Goku's father?
So you know my son Kakarot. But that's not the point. Thanks to Frieza's insect, he destroyed the planet Vegeta. I've traveled millions of years into the past.
Flashback, at the moment that Frieza destroyed the planet Vegeta, a portal would absorb planet Bardock, which would begin with new adventures. However, had fallen to another multiverse. That's right, Bardock had been received to the multiverse of the goddess Nin. Nin was very surprised to see such a muscular guy despite not having divine power. Nin decided to train him personally. That's right, Bardock was the first Saiyan to be trained by a queen at all. Bardock's power to reach a Saiyan would grow immeasurably, being able to reach all the divine transformations, even reaching the Ultra Instinct. But Bardock was able to take his transformation beyond all its limits, reaching a demonic transformation ending with a demon god in his world. Bardock, at the time of finishing with the demon god, his whole body was wrapped in incredible negative energy. But to Bardock's surprise, he was able to dominate all that energy, obtaining his most powerful transformation called the demonic Super Saiyan, which made all Bardock's hair a blood red color. Bardock, knowing that he didn't belong to that timeline, decided to return for a while, being the protector of all the dead, and the being that wreaked havoc in hell were annihilated by Bardock. End of flashback. Beerus would be surprised by the history of Bardock, however Frieza would be furious, would not mind, launching the attack. In his powerful transformation, Bardock would play along, starting to have a battle, something even with the Demon of Cold. However, after only 5 minutes of battle, Frieza was extremely tired. At that time, Bardock, a big blow would send him to the ground, making him lose his transformation. Vegeta was going to launch the attack, being stopped quickly by Whis.
No, Mr. Vegeta, the power of that Saiyan is even more powerful than the power of Mr. Goku, even more powerful than that demon god Demigra.
Demigra? Did they fight the weakest demon of all?
Beerus and Whis were astonished to learn that the demon god was the weakest of them all.
For that reason, you have a pathetic battle level. You've not had any confrontation with beings that overwhelm you in power. It'll not give me any satisfaction to finish you off, so get out of here.
Whis would take Frieza, leaving Hell. While they were leaving, Beerus would tremble with fear to know that this could be the end of him.
This has been very dangerous. The power of that being was able to finish us without being able to do anything. That's different from a real powerful one.
No matter how many millennia have to pass, we must finish with all of Son Goku's family. They are extremely dangerous.
Back to Shallot and Black's training, both were having a very even battle. That's right, in that time, Black had been able to combine 94% of all his cells with the same body.
You're just short of reaching the same evolution as Son Goku.
Meanwhile, with Goku, he was having a fight with Cirrus. However, Son Goku's power had already left behind, since even Cirrus was using the Ikari, who was not able to hit him with an effective blow. Goku was the only one who hit him the whole battle. At the end of the fight, Cirrus seriously said to herself,
"This warrior is incredible. Thanks to him, I was able to realize that even prodigies like me can be overcome if you have persistence."
Cirrus, I think it's time to finish with that damn Zeno-sama. I can't stand knowing that those wretches tried to finish us off.
All right, but you know that you must be the new kings of everything.
Of course, Cirrus. You don't have to worry about that. Black and I'll take care of it.
Goku, at the moment of going to Black's room, Kakarot would take the control of the body, turning into a lightning bolt, moving away from that place quickly. In that same instant, a powerful explosion was able to be observed in all that place.
Hell, if I hadn't reached quickly, that attack could have gotten us badly injured. I thank you, Black. You're being much more powerful to have control of the body. If necessary, use my power, because the guy who attacked us releases an incredible power.
At that moment, Kakarot was able to observe Cirrus, who was very wounded and on the verge of death. Kakarot Furious would return with Cirrus, creating an energy field, which would protect her, and at the same time would give her energy.
I don't know who you are, but show yourself! I'll finish you. I'll not forgive you for attacking us treacherously.
Very arrogant words, but that doesn't have great power. You're a simple worm compared to my true power. At that moment, a strong aura of fire would be seen all over the place. Kimura, turned into flames, was able to hit Goku with a strong blow, sending him flying. I thought you'd be able to withstand that blow, but I can see that you're nothing more than a mere mortal. No matter how much you train, there'll always be a limit to what you can do. Goku, in that furious moment, would begin to increase his power, accessing his Omni-God transformation, leaving Kimura a little surprised. Goku's power could be felt even in the room where Black and Shallot were training.
Kakarot's power's not normal.
This is not the training. His body releases much more power than his own body can withstand.
Shallot would begin to tremble at the moment he looked at Kimura, which Black would be able to notice.
I don't know who he is, but he's even capable of making my master tremble with his mere presence.
At that moment, an extremely impressive battle would begin, which Goku was losing in a few exchanges of the blows. The power of that guy was incredible. At that moment, the heart of Black began to ladder with a much greater force. That's right, Black had dominated the power of Son Goku to 99%, being able to release much more power. Black at that moment began to expel an extremely powerful, destroying everything around him, and making the whole kingdom tremble all over.
What will happen next? Find out in the next chapter. Well, guys, this is all for today's chapter. I hope you liked it and it was to your liking. Now, don't forget to leave your powerful like Supreme God level, comment, and subscribe. Now, without further ado, see you in a new video. Until next time.